Hello and welcome to episode 3 of this tutorial. In this episode, I am going to talk about, developing, publishing, packing our first Nuget package. So again, the goals of this episode are learning about how we can right now, pack our class library that we developed in the previous episode, pack it and, be able to kind of distribute it as a Nuget package. We are going to talk about the metadata that we can add to our Nuget packages. We're going to use the dotnet pack CLI command. We're going to prepare the airline.flights class library. We're going to pack it as a Nuget package, and we want to be able to distribute it. And then we are going to talk a little bit about versioning, consuming the Nuget package, but of course we're going to deal with these topics in full detail in future episodes. So what is a Nuget package? You remember in the first episode, I kind of briefly discussed what a Nuget package is. So a Nuget package is a file with this extension. So Nuget package, nupkg. It's a zip file. So if you change the extension of this file to zip, you can basically open it in your Windows Explorer. It contains different things, like for example, compiled DLL files, some metadata like the description, the author, the version of the package, and then some optional items, like for example, content files, build targets, symbols, XML documents, and so on. We can discuss these probably in future episodes in full detail, right? But we are going to move a little bit faster in this episode because the goal of this episode is to pack the airline.flights class library as one single Nuget package. So you can, create, of course, a package manually using, a nuspec file. This is, of course, something that involves a lot of, work. So you need to do things manually, but of course, it gives you more control. Or you can use dotnet CLI using this dotnet pack command. And of course, the config that you put in your csproj file for that class library, you can let dotnet CLI pack your class library as a Nuget package for you. And then this is the approach that we are going to take in this episode. So I told you we are going to convert airline.flights, a class library, into a Nuget package. We're going to create a new Nuget package for this class library. First, we need to add some metadata to the csproj file for this class library. So this is the metadata that I want to add to this project, and of course I am going to talk about each one of them in full detail, but by looking at them you can kind of understand what they mean. So we've got target framework, the version of the package ID, which is like an ID, a unique identifier for that package, the author, the company, and the description, the package tags, which is something that we are going to, understand better when we talk about distributing our package, through Nuget Gallery, repository URL, and of course, generate package on build, which is an option that you can set, which can help you to automatically create a Nuget package whenever you build your project. So let me go to my solution. I have already created a separate, branch for this episode. This is something that I do all the time. So this is the flights, csproj file. And what I want to do is to, add this the configuration that I just showed you here. So we're going to add these. And then I am going to talk about each one of them in full detail. Let me remove these and let's get back to the notes to kind of understand what each one of these mean. So a brief explanation of each item in this property group node. So the first one is target framework, of course. So this specifies the .NET version your class library is targeting. In our case, it is .NET 8. Then you set the version of your class library. This is using semantic versioning, something that we will, discuss in more detail in future episodes. So the version of your Nuget package, again, follows SEMVer or semantic versioning, major, minor, patch. This is the major version, minor version, patch version, they have, specific meanings that I'm going to discuss in future episodes. Package ID, right? So unique name of the NuGet package. And this is the name that will appear when you publish your NuGet package on nuget.org. So come up with a unique ID for your package. Then the author, so name of the package author or authors, again shown on nuget.org, and of course it is used for attribution. Then you've got the company, so this is optional company name associated with the package or project. Then you've got a description. You can come up with a detailed description of what the package is doing. This is the description that will be shown on nuget.org and in the tooling and the different, let's say, ways that you use to install that Nuget package. Then you've got package tags. Again, these are the tags or keywords, the searchable ones that help users, consumers of your package to find that package easily when they visit Nuget. And then the repository URL, of course, this is the URL to your source code on GitHub, on GitLab, for example. Again, this enables source link and better transparency. Then you've got generate package on build. This is a Boolean value. Here we've set it to true. So this means that a Nuget file, a Nuget package file will automatically be created whenever you build your project using, for example, .NET CLI. So again, you do not need to run this .NET pack every time you kind of want to pack the class library as a Nuget package. The moment you build it, because this has been set to true, a Nuget file will be created for you. Now, in order to pack your class library as a Nuget package, you can do two different things. For example, using .NET CLI, because of that flag that we have set to true, you can build the released version of your code, right? Or of course you can use .NET Pack, which is another CLI command that you can use in order to create your Nuget package. And then you will see this message, which means that the package has been created for you. And then of course, as I said, you can rename and change the extension of that file to zip and then open it, and you will see different items inside of it. Now let me go ahead and do this. So what I am going to do is to change the build profile to release. I'm going to rebuild this, and then let me open this Nuget package. From here, this is the package that got created. Just give me a second. I'm going to move this file. So this is the zip file that I talked about. So this is the Nuget file. I changed the extension of this file to zip, and I have opened it here. Again, because of that flag, whenever I build my package, build my class library, a Nuget package is created for me. And I've got, for example, the DLL file to this airline.flights class library using .NET 8. And I've got a bunch of different files here as well, which we will discover in more detail in future episodes. Now let's get back to the notes. So we have kind of created the first class library, the first Nuget package using our class library. Now what we can do, for example, you can create a local feed for your application, for your Nuget packages. So for example, you can create this folder on your machine, right? And then what you can do is that you can copy the Nuget file, the file with this extension, to this folder, and then you can set a package source in your package manager, Nuget package manager, and then you can install those packages that you publish. So I am going to say Nuget package manager. I think I can find the sources here. So as you can see, I have one source configured here on my machine. The name of the folder is local Nuget feed, right? And now I am going to pause the video and copy that Nuget file to this folder. Now that I have copied that Nuget file there in that folder, I can go ahead, go to manage Nuget packages for this console app, go to browse and choose my local feed here. You see my local feed appears here, and this is the package we just created, right? So we've got the description, the semver, the author, date published tags, and the dependencies. And there's only one version here, and then I can go ahead and install this. So basically we have seen the whole workflow from creating the class library, writing the code, adding the configuration in the CSPatch file, packing the class library as a Nuget package, moving it to our local feed for now, and then being able to install the different versions from Nuget the package manager. Let's get back to the notes. So you can now create, for example, install these airline.flights from our local feed. Again, something that we will do in future episodes as well. So in this episode, we learned how to turn a class library into a Nuget package using .NET pack CLI command. We built and explored the first Nuget file, Nuget package file. We used .NET pack as our CLI command to pack our Nuget package, and we added some project metadata, and we now understand the basics on semantic versioning. Again, something that I would like to discuss in full detail in future episodes. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode, and stay tuned for the next one as well.